Remember when technology used to look fun? Like, back before everything became flat, gray, and serious? Back then, your screen looked like it was breathing. Buttons had reflections. Wallpapers had sunlight, and everything felt like it was made out of soap, bubbles, and dreams. That was the Frutiger era. Basically, the Windows Vista look. And it's making a comeback. But not just because it's cool, it's because people miss how it felt. It turns out we're all nostalgic for a future that never even happened. Before minimalism flattened everything into white space and black text, technology looked alive. Buttons shimmered, menus curved, and screens promised a bright and connected future. This was Frutiger era, an aesthetic that once defined optimism itself. With sky blue colors and aquatic atmospheres, artists utilized glassy textures, water droplets, and reflections to really define this style. Overall, Frutiger era at this time wasn't only a style, it was a statement. It said, the future is clean, friendly, and full of light. The early 2000s was a time of technological idealism. Social media and smartphones were new and full of promise. The design reflected this optimism. It was human, fluid, and natural. Companies wanted to present technology as hopeful and life-enhancing, and not sterile. One thing I'd like to emphasize is the comparison of the 2000s Frutiger era designs and how they visually communicated connection and freedom, while today's flat and minimalistic design communicates control and simplicity. Most of Gen Z being born during this time began to form a childhood bond to this healing style of advertising and presentation, laying the foundation for the powerful nostalgia to come in the future. It seemed like the world is on a path towards a future that everyone can admire, as if there was nothing to worry about. Around 2013, something changed. The shine disappeared, and the bubbles popped. Suddenly, everything went flat. Apple dropped their glass buttons and gradients. Microsoft went into full blocky tiles. At first, it looked modern, but the more you stare at it, the more it kind of felt soulless. It's like the web stopped trying to welcome you and started trying to manage you. Minimalism became the new standard, and we all just had to accept it. But it wasn't just a design shift, it was a whole mental shift. The world got harsher, the internet got louder. Everyone was burned out, chasing algorithms, arguing online, and doom scrolling. The optimism of the early internet, the one filled with clouds and glass and water reflections, when it all felt new, started to feel embarrassing, too naive, too hopeful. So design adapted. It grew up, clean, professional, serious. But maybe that's the problem. We grew up too, and the future stopped feeling magical. But lately, that glossy blue world has been sneaking back. You've probably seen it. Fruitiger Arrow edits all over TikTok, mood boards on Pinterest, and even people making wallpapers that look like 2008 all over again. It's like we're bringing the dream back, one reflection at a time. And I think I know why. Gen Z never really got to live in that tech optimism phase. We grew up in the aftermath, in the burnout, the irony, and the minimalism. So when we see that bubbly glass aesthetic, it feels safe. It feels warm, like a childhood memory we didn't actually have. It's not just nostalgia, it's a wishful thinking. We miss the future we were promised. Back when design said, technology can make the world better, instead of, please accept cookies to continue. And that's why creators are bringing it back. Through music, art, and even some companies are bringing back logos reminiscent of the 2000s. Because we're trying to make the internet feel human again, to make it ours. Fruitiger Arrow isn't just a look, it's an idea. Back then, design wasn't only about making tech feel advanced, it was about making it feel alive. The glass, the water, and the clouds, all that stuff was meant to remind us of the world outside of the screen. It was like this promise, technology and nature could exist together. Computers could be friendly, efficient, and sustainable. The future didn't have to mean metal cities and gray skies. It could mean clean air, renewable energy, and digital calm. You see it in the colors, all that sky blue and leaf green wasn't random. It was trying to say, hey, progress doesn't have to destroy what's beautiful. And now, as we bring that aesthetic back, it kind of feels like a statement. Like we still want that future, the one that was hopeful, peaceful, and connected. Not just online, but to the world around us. Fruitiger Arrow feels like that balance we lost somewhere along the way, between humans, machines, and nature. Maybe that's why it hit so hard today, because deep down, we don't just miss the old internet. We miss having that innovation that could actually make life better. So yeah, maybe the bubbly glass stuff was cheesy. Maybe it looked dated, but it stood for something bigger. It stood for a version of progress that cared. And maybe bringing it back isn't just about nostalgia. Maybe it's about reminding ourselves that the future can still be beautiful, still be sustainable, and still be human. Maybe it's time to dream again.